Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today is episode number 100 here on the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I want to thank you all for sticking around for 100 episodes now on this game and this series. Didn't think we were going to make it this far this quick, but very happy of course to do that. I didn't really do anything special for this one. I just kind of wanted to just really say thank you to you all, like I said, for sticking around. A lot has changed, especially since that first episode when we were using no mods at all on episode 1 to now we have so many modded cars and whatnot. The rosters and the Cup Series especially are so much mod involved, and it's really been quite the change since the start of the career mode, and I hope you've all been enjoying that. But we come through now into our number 3 season here of the Cup Series career right now, but we come through with the Truck Series race first up at Las Vegas, where we had subscriber Marcus Sheldon in the truck for us as he started about midfield here in this race as it goes down into turn 1 right behind John Hunter Nemechek now through the center of 1 and 2, but looking to just kind of have a very strong season here once again in the Truck Series. Daytona went very well for us, top 10 there, and now is in the Cup Series as well. We had a very strong outing in Daytona with a runner-up finish to Joey Logano, who is our rival, and hopefully we can get rid of Logano as a rival soon in the career mode. But it's going to be tough now, as we really are going to have to find a way to just kind of stay away from him on the track. But it's going to be tough because both myself and Logano are drivers that can compete for wins on a race-to-race basis. Now, as you see, Marcus Shelton moving his way here through the center of 1 and 2, passing the 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb. He would get up to the back of Gus Dean here as he came through down the backstretch right behind Rajah Caruth there, and got into the bank of Caruth there for a brief moment as he went down towards turn 3. Very aggressive there, making it work though as he goes into the corner there, but you can see the car or the truck got kind of unsettled now as he's 3 wide out of turn 4. Now some more contact there with Rajah Caruth on the exit of turn 4, and as he came through down the front straightaway though, Marcus would be able to finally get clear and move his way forwards now, passing as well Ben Rhodes there into turn 1, and he would just continue his way forwards, now getting up the inside of the 51 of Riley Herbst into turn 3, and he would be able to pass him as well. But we would come through already towards the end of the race here in Las Vegas as he went down into turn 3. This now being on the final lap actually in Las Vegas as he came through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Just really couldn't get to anybody else after he had worked his way up inside the top 10. So he comes through down the front straightaway here. Overall, a solid day for our subscriber Marcus Shelton with a P10 finish here as Zane Smith. Actually, I got to get rid of Zane Smith from the Truck Series now, but Grant Enfinger pulls off the victory and puts himself now in the Truck Series playoffs. As you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen with Clay Greenfield at the very bottom of the field. I simmed through the Xfinity Series race, so you're about to see the finishing order for that one to see how everybody did here. Now, as Ryan Sieg pick up the victory, Christian Eckes, Haley Deegan 2nd and 3rd. Then we had Sheldon Creed, Derek Kraus 6th and 7th. Kevin Magnussen there in P11. So watching out for those drivers, especially like Sam Mayer as well there, but he had a pretty subpar finish here in the Xfinity Series for his second race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So now we come through into the Cup Series weekend, and this time we had the NZXT paint scheme on the car for the first time. As you guys know, most of the paint schemes on our car and in the career mode in general that are modded have been made by Renato, except the number 43 was made by Vixen, another community member of ours now. But we come through into qualifying here as we get underway. The goal was a 30.775 as we go down into turn 1 here. So I was confident we were not going to beat that goal. We usually don't at Las Vegas here, but you see me running down on the bottom. I expect to be running the top through turns 1 and 2 during the race, and probably the bottom through turns 3 and 4 usually seems to be the better option. Now as we come through out of turn 4 though on our qualifying attempt, coming through to the line, it doesn't look like we're going to beat that goal already, and sure enough we do not. We're a few tenths off with a 31.029, but still qualify P16 for the Pennzoil 400 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So overall, a decent qualifying effort. Now, as you see, drivers like William Byron and Eric Jones still don't have the correct number that goes with their actual paint scheme and car number that is modded on the game, so that will, like I said, be fixed in a few episodes or so now, as you see the top 10 here in qualifying. Same for Kyle Larson, he will have a 5 there soon, but Denny Hamlin and Zane Smith are on the front row here for Las Vegas. So Smith with a very solid qualifying effort once again, as he's showing a lot of speed so far as a rookie as we get ready to go green here for the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Alright boys, solid first race to the season last time out of Daytona. Let's go have a potential win here today. Honestly, we've been really strong out of the gates in the speed week, so I think we've got the speed we need. There you heard just a little bit of a kind of pep talk to the team there on the radio now as we get ready to go here with the stories of the race. Tyler Reddick looking very fast after based off of practice speed. Joey Logano, he remembers our antics. We got to watch out for him. Denny Hamlin on the pole here, our former teammate who can just never seem to win a championship, unfortunately. But could this finally be his season, as he's been running out of time now for quite a while, and he's getting closer and closer to the end of his career now as the Pennzoil 400 is underway and the green flag is out, and we are green from the 16th starting position. On our inside, we got our Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Alex Bowman, then right behind us an affiliate teammate of the 88 of William Byron for the very first season of that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson collab team called Earnhardt Johnson Racing here, as we're right on that door of the 88 through turns 1 and out of turn 2 as we go down this back straightaway on this opening lap. Hamlin clear over second place of Smith, who's already seeming to be dropping back a little bit as we go down into turn 3. Ryan Blaney going to get up my inside, as well as you see Christopher Bell just up in front of us there. Joey Logano, our rival, right in front of us now as we come through out of turn 4. Right behind us, we've got Kevin Harvick as well as Chase Briscoe here in the mix, and then Austin Cindric, one of the rookies, in the mix as well as we go down towards turns 1 down to P19. So we've lost positions here on this opening lap as I get a little bit aggressive now, going 3 wide around the outside of our rival of Logano, as well to the outside of Christopher Bell as we exit turn 2, and right to the back of Tyler Reddick now is Joey Logano. He's going to get right to our back bumper, and immediately Logano gets on our back bumper into turn 3, and now Logano is going to go around. He has completely taken himself out now on the second lap of this race, and he goes crashing into the outside while heavy contact, and the caution comes out on just the second lap of this race here in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Please forward the message to the 22 that I think he is an idiot, please. There you heard myself on the radio now as Logano tried to get us in turn 3 and proceeded to wreck himself. So that kind of sets the tone of how he's going to drive us at this early portion of the season now as we get underway here in Las Vegas. And instead of wrecking me, like I said, he wrecked himself now. And as I kind of think about it, with the ability for us to mod the game and with rivalries and whatnot, we can honestly kind of have suspensions, quote unquote, in this game. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye out to potentially work into this series in the future. Say if Logano tries and just takes us out on purpose, we could think about having a suspension for him. Or if, say, I'm going clean out the 22 on purpose in the future, then I could face a suspension as well or something like that. So it's something I'm definitely keeping in my mind now as we come through out of turn 4 to the outside of the 8 of Tyler Reddick. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Zane Smith is way off the pace after qualifying in the second position. He showed a lot of speed in qualifying, but here he is outside of the top 10. And as we go down into turn 1, we're about to pass the McLaren rookie as we come through the center of 1 and 2, right behind that 42 of Ross Chastain, who looks to have a much better season than his last one with that number 42 Chip Ganassi Racing team, as they struggled so much, had terrible luck. They had speed, just terrible luck now as we go down into turn 3. Denny Hamlin driving away from the field already as we come through on the exit of turn 4 to the outside of the 42 of Ross Chastain. Ryan Blaney right there in front of us on the back bumper of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Up ahead, I can see our teammates like Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, as well as Kyle Larson. And then you see Matt Benedetto in the number 10 car up in the mix there on the top 5 as we come through the center of 1 and 2. I'm really trying to make this outside line work here, and it definitely works through turns 1 and 2. But I felt like at times it was working through turns 3 and 4, but it was really kind of hard to tell because we were just in so much traffic right now. As we came through, though, now on at lap 9 on the exit of turn 4. Bubba Wallace now, who qualified well as just as well as Zane Smith, but he seems to also be struggling, not clearly as much as Zane Smith, but another driver that seems to be off the pace here as we go down into turn 1 around the outside of Noah Gragson. We've also passed our teammate of Chase Elliott, and then on the exit of turn 2, we're going to put this number 24 NZXT paint scheme here up inside now the top 10 as we come through into the 9th position into turn 3. As you can see, I continue to try and run that outside lane, and it kind of worked. We ran down our 2 Hendrick Motorsports teammates of Kyle Larson as well as Alex Bowman, but Brad Keselowski, he came right up there with me and got to my inside, and we actually would get passed by Brad Keselowski, who came through to turn 4 now on lap 12 of 19 here in stage 1 as they're side by side right in front of us, but eventually the momentum from Bowman and myself would actually get ourselves ahead of the number 5 of Kyle Larson, who had a chance to get in position to win the Daytona 500 last episode, but couldn't quite make it happen. But Larson, I expect great things out of him this season here in that number 5 as we go down this front straightaways. He had a pretty strong showing in the 43 last season in the career mode. Now as we come through out of turn 2, I had to get out of the throttle Logano there and nearly get into the side of Keselowski as we're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Nearly turned into a bit of an incident there as I decided to be a little bit too aggressive and try to go around the outside of the 48 of Alex Bowman when he was already relatively close to the wall, and I still tried to get even closer there as we come through out of turn 4, 3 wide behind us between Keselowski, Larson, as well as the 21 of the rookie of Austin Cindric. Now as we actually have problems down the front straightaway, Ryan Blaney goes spinning down into turns 1, clearly loses a rear tire, and that is going to bring out the second caution of the day there. A violent hit, but unfortunately the replay cut off before we could see any of the just kind of utter chaos that happened there with those cars piling in. So everybody though came to the pit lane, so we came in and put 2 cans of fuel on the car as well as 4 fresh tires. So now in P8, after we gained 2 positions on the pit lane here for the restart, now as we are back underway, but now Denny Hamlin, he has lost the lead, and it's going to be a 2-lap dash here for the end of stage 1. It's actually the 88 of William Byron who finds himself out front now as we go down towards turns 1. Keselowski up inside Larson right on our back bumper. Here's Tyler Reddick. We've been kind of watching him move his way through the field as this first stage has gone on, and you saw in the stories of the race that Tyler Reddick was posting some fast laps in practice, so definitely a driver that we have to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this race here as we go down into turn 3. And Byron, he goes all the way to the top. Custer goes to the bottom. Hamlin in the middle now as they're on the exit now of turns 4. I make it 3 wide here with Reddick as well as Brad Keselowski as we come through to start the final lap of this first and opening stage. We clear the 8 of Reddick, but now Cindric, he's going to be able to get past me as we go down into turn 1. Byron still side by side with the 41 of Cole Custer for that stage lead as we come through out of turn 2. Now 3 wide again with the now 21 and 8 cars go down this back straightaway into turns 3 for the final time here on stage 1. It's still side by side between the 41 and the 88 for the stage victory as we exit turn 4. Still 3 wide as we go down the front straightaway. It's William Byron who's going to win stage 1 as we come through to the line. We get beat by Cindric, but we barely beat Kevin Harvick for the 10th position here in stage 1 as William Byron picks up the stage victory. And like I mentioned there, it still shows 13 as his car number there, but I will have that fixed here within the next few episodes now. So we get 1 point there in stage 1, nothing to really be too disappointed about, but I feel like we definitely have a car that's better than 10th, but definitely need it to kind of go green for a little bit longer as Ryan Blaney has DNF'd, I should mention, from that crash earlier that forced that 2-lap dash. So we end up gaining 1 position on the pit lane over Austin Cindric and get ready to restart P9 for the start of Stage 2. And due to popular demand for the start of Stage 2, we're going to go through into the AMP segment. There you had the amped segment there. I hope you guys are enjoying that now, as it's nice to actually kind of bring that in now, as I tried it a few times earlier in the career mode when we first got to the Cup Series, and you guys seemed to like it then, but it seems to be even more popular now. So definitely something that's probably going to stick around, as we're 3 wide down the back straightaway there with Denny Hamlin as we go down into turn 3. Cindric's going to move through now into the 7th position. Hamlin's going to try and hold on to that 8th spot as behind us we got our teammate of Alex Bowman there in that 10th spot. Now as we came through though, dropping down to the bottom finally into turns 3 on lap 4 of the stage, Tyler Reddick, he's now moved himself through into the mix for that lead battle as we come through down the front straightaway, and sure enough through turns 1 and 2 we would finally just about get clear of Custer. Couldn't quite make it happen happened, but Tyler Reddick would move through to the lead here on lap 5 of the second stage and clear Kyle Busch and try to bring Kevin Harvick with him from that number 4 Stewart-Haas Racing team, and Harvick would move through into second place, and then we would finally clear Cole Custer, so take over P8, and we would continue on this bottom lane here into turn 1 and 2, get up the inside of Keselowski, pass him, get up the inside as well of Kyle Busch, our former teammate and last season's champion, as we go down the back straightaway side by side with him, and into turns 3, unfortunately actually clipped the apron there through the center of the corner, so Kyle is able to stay clear as we hold on to P7 as Harvick now takes over the lead as we exit turn 4. Keselowski back up my inside trying to retake the 8th position, or the 7th position I should say now, as we drop down into P8, but then the caution comes out here in stage 2, and once again this is going to force a bit of actually a mixed strategy. I was expecting everybody to be coming in here, but no, it's going to be kind of mixed, and I decided I was actually going to stay out for this pit stop to try and collect the stage points. Now as you see, drivers like Harrison Burton coming into the pit lane, Chase Elliott, our teammate, Martin Truex Jr. and whatnot, but we, like I said, decide to stay out. So I was expecting that to really not quite work out, to be honest with you, for the other drivers, because they're going to have to put a solid 5 laps or so on their tires, and then we're all going to come in at the end of stage 2, put 4 tires on, and they might stay out, but there's only like 5 cars that are going to stay out, so we're just going to blow right by them. Now as we get back underway, as we go down into turn 1, Kevin Harvick looking for the stage victory. Tyler Reddick right behind him there in second as Hamlin restarted on that front row with Harvick, but didn't quite get the restart he was looking for as we go down this back straightaway now up the inside of Keselowski as we go down into turn 3. William Byron having a very strong run here in that number 88 Camaro here today as we come through the center of 3 and out of turn 4, nearly clear of the 2 car of Keselowski. I could have maybe slipped the car right up in front of him, but did not quite want to take that risk here as we come through to 4 laps to go, as I'm looking for an opportunity to get up to that high lane into turns 1 and 2, because we just seem to be so much better up there now, as it just definitely works a lot better for me when I'm not pinned down on the bottom. But we actually get up the inside of Denny Hamlin as we go down this back straightaway, but unfortunately out of turns 4, we're still battling side by side. We made a little bit of contact on the exit of turn 4 with Hamlin as we come through to 3 laps to go now in the stage. Byron now up into third as we go down into turn 1, and Hamlin's actually going to go sliding behind us out of turns 1, and he goes spinning onto the apron, and that's going to bring out the caution here and end stage 2 a couple laps early now, as I cannot believe, to be honest, that he went spinning into turns 1 after we made just a little bit of door-to-door contact on the exit of turn 4 a whole straightaway ago. But either way, that brings up the caution and ends stage 2 a few laps early, like I said. So we come into the pit lane here to put 2 cans of fuel in the car, as well as put 4 fresh tires on. I didn't really make any adjustments because I was confident in the speed of this car, especially on the longer run. Now, as you see, about 7 cars stay out here for the restart, so definitely not the call for those 7 drivers. I think that was right now as we get back underway, and it is going to be 28 laps to go here, as we're right on the back of the 8 of Reddick. As you can see, a bit of a stack up in front of us now as we get back underway, but if it stays green, we will have to make a green flag pit stop, or if we get a caution within probably the first 5 laps or so of the stage, we will still likely have to make a green flag pit stop. Now as we come through out of turn 2 side by side with the 88 of William Byron, this opens up a big opportunity. We can potentially get past the fastest cars on the track here and maybe drive away and get ourselves in a position to win here in Las Vegas. In reality, our car has probably been about a 6th to 10th place car here today, but here's the opportunity that we have right now to get all these slower cars in the way of the faster drivers than us and make up a bunch of track position here as we go down into turn 1, right behind one of the drivers that has been probably the fastest, if not maybe second fastest car here today in Las Vegas, and that is the 8 of Tyler Reddick. We have now brought our teammate of Alex Bowman into the mix as we're up the inside of the rookie of Todd Gilliland into turn 3, as well as we get up the inside of Harrison Burton there in that number 95 now as we come through out of turns 4 up into that now 5th position here as we go down the front straightaway. But you can just see how fast that number 8 of Tyler Reddick is. He's already on the back of our teammate Chase Elliott, and out of turns 2 he would pass him. So I now get down to the inside on this back straightaway of the 9 of Elliott into turns 3, and now we are going to be able to pass him, but I clipped the apron there going into the corner. That completely destroys the momentum I was carrying, and that allows Cole Custer to get to the back of me. Byron makes it 3 wide with Elliott and Custer behind us. He's going to get to my inside. I don't even bother trying to block the 88 because we know how fast he is now as he goes by us into turn 1, and then we go down into turn 3, and now on lap 43 to the inside of the 19, where the 88 of William Byron now blows an engine through turns 3 and out of turn 4. That allows the 41 to nearly get past me, but the caution comes out due to the 88 blowing an engine, and probably that would definitely have to be the fastest car here today, not Tyler Reddick, and he is now out here in Las Vegas. William Byron's day has come to an end after showing a lot of potential as he continues to look for that first win of his Cup Series career here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Very unfortunate for William Byron, and that's, of course, an affiliate teammate. You do not like to see an engine blow on an affiliate car or just a teammate car now as we get back ready to go for the restart here. Nobody came into the pit lane now as we restart in P4 on lap 46, coming to lap 47. It will be 21 laps to go as we are back underway with the now 21 of Austin Cindric leading the way over Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., myself, Cole Custer, and Chase Elliott actually round out the top 6 here as we go down into turn 1. I was honestly very surprised to see drivers like Chase Elliott actually stay out on the track. Same for Todd Gilliland. Now, as they've really decided on a strategy, they determined they still could not make it, so they decided to stay out with us here as we go down into turn 3. Cindric goes all the way to the top, Truex to the bottom, Reddick to the middle as we come through out of turn 4 there. Now myself and Truex still side by side, but Tyler Reddick, we're 3 wide by the way, but Tyler Reddick looks to the inside of the 21 of Cindric, and now Tyler Reddick, who's still looking for his first career win as well, and so is Cindric, so is Cole Custer. So these top 3 drivers all looking for career win number 1, but Reddick is now in the best position to do so as he takes the lead out of turn 2. There was a scenario last season at Richmond International Speedway that Tyler Reddick actually found himself leading going into the final restart of that race, and he actually lost it on the restart. So it was an overtime restart. Reddick gave away the win there, and now he's looking for redemption finally here the season after at Las Vegas Motor Speedways. I tried to make a move up the inside of the 41 of Cole Custer, couldn't quite make it happen. So we come through now on lap 51, trying the same thing into turn 3, and then I clipped the apron through the center of the corner, so that destroys the opportunity there. I was running the outside through turns 1 and 2, and it was building up so much momentum, and I would continue doing this here into turn 3 now a few laps later on lap 53, and unfortunately it just doesn't work. But you can see Tyler Reddick, he has driven away from everybody now as myself and Custer are trying to run down Austin Cindric. I was still in kind of anticipating a caution to come out here any moment now as we came through, though finally on lap 57 I get to the outside of Cole Custer on the exit of turn 2, and we were now bringing Kevin Harvick, Custer's teammate, into the mix as well as we came to the center of now 3 and 4, but I was starting to now think about potential green flag pit stops coming into the mix now as I'm right on that quarter panel of the 41, side drafting him very hard to try and get him away from clearing me, but unfortunately he clears me, and Harvick, he was having so much momentum down the front straightaway because of myself and Custer slowing each other down that he gets to my outside as we come through out of turn 2. Now I look to the inside of the 41 again of Custer, but I have 0 momentum, and that allows the 41 to get clear. Now as the 21 of Austin Cindric, he is going to come into the pit lane. He's going to be the first one into the pit lane. There's a clip the apron through 3 and 4, and there, sure enough, he dives off the track and he is coming into the pit. So I decide, you know what, the very next lap I'm going to do the same thing, as you actually saw a bunch of smoke coming out of Anthony Alfredo's car. He is out of the race as he came in through into his pit box, but sure enough, out of turn 4 on lap 59, I now come into the pit lane. Very important to not speed, of course, and fortunately I did not speed, so a very easy call to make. It was about 1 can of fuel as well as a 2-tire pit stop. So as you can see, there's still Exalta fire suits on the team. If I can actually find a way to change that in the future, I'm going to get it kind of with the sponsors of our actual car here in the career mode now. But we get out of the pit box, no mistakes at all, so that was very nice here as we go down into turn 1. Now the question was, where's the 21 of Austin Cindric? And he happens to be the very next car behind me, and out of turn 2 you're going to see the effect of him short pitting. He stretches out the gap quite significantly between himself and I. So now we're trying to play catch up here as we came through on lap 61, and a bunch of other drivers that come into the pit lane. You just saw the 22 of Logano coming out of his, and then we sure enough come through and moving up into P3 after Brad Keselowski came into the pit lane. So Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric are P1 and P2. And because of myself short pitting, we were able to get ourselves ahead of the 41 of Custer as well as the 4 of Harvick, who seemed to kind of have rough pit stops because the 22 of Logano actually was right there with him trying to pass him now as we have the visor cam here, as you guys also seem to be quite a fan of that as well in the last episode of the Daytona 500, so definitely going to keep that. As you can see, I've kind of matched it up with the sponsor we're driving. So when I had Razor last episode, we matched it with the Razor helmet visor cam. This time we have the NZXT visor cam here for the NZXT car. So we came through now with 3 laps to go, and without a caution, this is Tyler Reddick's race. He's going to cruise to his first career win as Austin Cindric, with that much more of an alliance this season with the Wood Brothers Racing Team and Penske Racing. It has allowed that 21 to run so much better, and here he is in just his second race looking for his first career win right on the back of the 8 of Reddick, but needs a caution as well as we came through though to a lap and a half to go here in Las Vegas. And immediately I look back and realize The 22 of Logano is closing very quickly as we exit turn 4, and he might very well get there. I tried to change the line into 3 and 4 because I realized he was just closing and closing, but as we come through to start the final lap here on Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Harvick down in 5th, and now Logano is here as we go down into turn 1. He tried to wreck us on the second lap of the race and cleaned himself out. He probably was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of that, especially, of course, he tried to take us out and under our race on lap 2, and now Logano is here on the final lap as we go down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time side by side with the 22 of Joey Logano as we exit turns 4. Now contact with the 22 of Logano now as he's actually going to go crashing down the front straightaway, and Harvick isn't collected as well, and Logano goes spinning into the outside wall behind us as we come through to finish in P3. Tyler Reddick picks up the victory for the first time in his Cup Series career now, as I'm not gonna lie, that contact was 100% on purpose with the 22 of Logano. After he tried to take us out on lap 2, I was trying to make sure that we could not let him beat us to the line, and unfortunately it actually resulted with him getting taken out there on the exit of turns 4, so that might need to be looked into by NASCAR here for the next episode, but we will see what happens now. As like I said, I don't really feel bad. Logano tried to wreck us on lap 2, so honestly I felt like that was pretty justified there. But before we end this episode, we're just going to quickly check out the point standings here on the screen. Now, as always, though, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you do know what to do. Now, as you see the Truck Series standings, Enfinger and Anderson with the 2 wins so far this season. On the Xfinity side, it's Ryan Sieg as well as Jeff Green. Like I said, Jeff Green will likely fall out of the playoff contention when he cannot stay within the certain points position requirement. And then we got Tyler Reddick and Logano with the 2 wins here on the Cup Series side, as well as you see the rest of the order there. The last car in currently is Brad Keselowski in the number 2. But before we end this episode, I just want to quickly say thank you to the Going Racing members here on the channel of MJ, Aiden, Tony, Dylan, Joseph, RJ, Timothy, Bubba Jr., as well as Mr. Johnson. You guys help out a lot, and I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.